So I started a plant-based diet 7 years ago. I'm basically a veteran, an old man when it comes to plant-based eating at this stage. And at that time I just finished uni, where, as many of you know, that was my gym bro days. I was doing the dirty bulking. I built a bit of muscle with it. But as you've seen, I put on an awful lot of fat, skin terrible, and ended up in a position where I just felt so powerless to food. The nights where I'd order the Mighty Meat, or whatever it was called, Domino's pizza, whilst watching Lost or Prison Break, if you remember those shows from a couple of years back, and I'd eat the whole pizza, followed by a whole tub of Ben and Jerry's, by the time the next episode was on. Terrible. And a plant-based diet is what moved the needle for me. It's what broke me through. There was some mental work to do as well, but it ultimately changed my life. It's not grandiose to say it changed my life. I want to share with you in this video what I'm going to do this upcoming year, how my diet's going to look. I'm a creature of habit, so it's going to be relatively straightforward and simple. You'll probably be happy to hear. And of course, nowadays I'm only interested in weight maintenance, but this also applies. Obviously, the portions need to be amended and considered, but this also applies to weight loss as well. Breakfast for me nowadays is the cereal bowls. You know I love these. It's the muesli, it's the bran flakes, healthy cereal. There is this story of cereal that it's highly processed, that it's full of refined nasty sugars, etc. And, you know, truth be told, for some cereal that is absolutely correct. But they're not all created equally. It depends on, it depends on exactly the ingredients list. It depends on the way in which they're manufactured, what's included, so on and so forth. Macros, calories, micronutrients, fortified. Some cereals fortified with some really good micronutrients, such as B12, vitamin D, and so on. And so it depends on the cereal in question. But things like muesli, if you're in the UK, brands like Alara, or the Jordan's Natural Muesli, not the full Jordan's range, but the Jordan's Natural Muesli, they're good to go, they're brilliant. Bran flakes are absolutely amazing. If you're in the US, Bob's Red Mill's muesli as well, which I believe is also gluten-free for those of you who are gluten intolerant. That's a great option. I love these cereal bowls. Now, I used to be a big advocate for oatmeal, and it's still a great way to start the day, but this video is about my diet and what I'm going to eat like over the next 12 months or so. And I just went through 3 or 4 years when I first went vegan, where I was eating oatmeal every day. I can't do it anymore. I'm sure I'll come back to it, but I can't do it anymore. I'll add some fruit. Berries go really well with these kinds of cereals. Sliced banana. I'm personally not a big banana fan. I know that's heresy, treason to say as a vegan, but I'm not a massive banana fan, but you might like it. It works well. Maybe a bit of dried fruit, some raisins and whatnot, some small amount of raisins on there, and then a seed of my choosing, whether it's chia seed, flaxseed, hemp seed. I'll do a tablespoon of that, and some plant milk to top. My favorite is soy milk for no reason aside from taste. I really like soy milk. Oat milk's pretty good. Almond milk, the lowest in calories if you're being very considerate over the scales right now. And that will be breakfast for me. Lunch, 9 times out of 10, frankly, nowadays, is a sandwich of some kind. And again, like with cereal, it depends on the bread. If you're getting bread with loads of white flour, added nasties, eggs, milk, etc., oil, some breads can be loaded with oil, which always surprises people. Yeah, of course, they're heavily refined. They're not going to be that great for you. But I'm talking about relatively cleanish, high fiber, made mostly or exclusively, from whole wheat flour, which is not the same as whole meal. I must mention to my British friends, whole meal is not the same as whole wheat. What you really ideally want is lots of whole wheat in your bread. And you can still lose weight. Bread can be incredibly weight loss friendly when you buy the right brand, when you buy the right type. And so I'm going to do hummus on there. I'm going to do a bunch of veggies. I'm going to do some sliced tempeh sometimes. Tempeh tofu, they go weirdly well in bread. So if you're looking at bread and thinking, oh, where's the protein? Obviously, you can get it through hummus with the chickpeas in hummus, but also you can add some tempeh and tofu slices like I do. And what I love about this is, and many of my clients have sandwiches to this day, it's so fast and it's such a good grab and go option. Now, as it happens, I work for myself, so I work from home anyway, so I don't necessarily need something to put in a Tupperware container or wrap up and take to work. Even so, a sandwich still works so well for this. Dinner for me, 9 times out of 10. If you haven't got the pattern here, I follow a very typical 3-meal structure. I meant to mention that right at the start, but hey-ho, we're straight into it. I tend to follow a 3-meal structure with the occasional snack. So dinner for me, Bean chili, usually something like that. I'm loving that at the moment. I'll do that quite a lot next year. I love my pastas as well, so I'll do like a red lentil pasta. I like whole wheat pasta too, but red lentil pasta I'm enjoying at the moment, with maybe some chickpeas, bunch of veggies, maybe some kind of like creamy tahini sauce, or alternatively more of a marinara. Just simple stuff like chopped tomatoes. Tomatoes. I'm so Americanized now because I'm so used to speaking to my American clients. You know, throw in some other veggies in there, mushrooms, zucchini, broccoli, whatever I've got, just throw that into the marinara with some lentils or some chickpeas, as I say, and that's just such a decent, like, hearty, especially this time of year. I'm filming this in December. This time of year, big, hearty, warming dish, and I love that. So yeah, typically something like a bean chili. Something I've been doing a lot lately, which is nothing fancy, is just taking a couple of potatoes and baking up some tofu in the oven and just doing a very basic side salad. Loving that at the moment. Snacks for me, simple stuff. Fruit, it's got to be grab and go, you see. Fruit, roasted beans I have often. Holland and Barrett here in the UK, they do like roasted edamame and chickpeas and whatnot with no oil, no nasties in most cases. And that's just great to snack on. Maybe just some hummus toast. If I'm particularly active, which I mostly am, but on days where I'm particularly active, I've got the tennis, I've got the Muay Thai training, gym. Not all in one day, of course, these things. I'm just doing steps because I live walking around a lot because I live in a city. I don't do all of these things on a given day, but let's say I'm going through a particularly active period, there might be 2 or 3 snacks over the course of the day. Hummus toast is a great option. So that's the diet. That's the food component of things, and that's how my diet is probably going to look over the next 12 months. Final note here, because I will inevitably get asked about this in the comments. Portions. I sadly can't advise on portion sizes because I don't know you. This is just a general video. You have to work with me for that, or I have to know an awful lot more about your situation to actually advise on portion sizes. But a quick point of note on this is that portions still matter. There is still, sadly, some messaging in this community that suggests that calories don't matter and portions don't matter. Just eat plants and you'll lose weight. If only it was that straightforward. Everyone would be slim by now. It's not. Portions sadly still matter. Of course, this is a nutrient-rich, low caloric density diet, and so you can eat generously and still lose weight at the same time because of that caloric density, but portions are still important at the same time. If you found the information in this video helpful, but you need that next level of instruction, support, and accountability to number 1, lose weight, number 2, learn how to easily keep it off this time round, and number 3, create healthy habits for life, click the link below. I'll tell you more about how I've helped over 300 men and women lose 10, 20, 30 or more pounds with simple plant-based meals without having to count or track their calories and with gentle exercise only. Click the link below this video.